Finish that up.
It's Ezekiel 3 and 17.
Yep.
Start from the top. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel.
Yeah, when you watch, you gotta be on point. You know, you can't be, you watch some of these movies and the security guards got his feet kicked up. He's on his phone, he's probably watching the cameras. And then all of a sudden, the thief comes in, catch him off guard. No, you got to constantly be on your watch. You got Israelite groups taking vacations, taking time off. Oh, I'm running this business right now. When the weather get back and good weather, we'll come out there and we'll do what we got to do. You got to constantly be on watch, man. Because things is popping up every day. Prophecy is kicking, man. Famine of the words is upon us. A famine of food. Pestilence running everywhere. Earthquakes. Esau passing out at the podium. Yeah. And that juice is kicking in high gear, man. It's coming for these people. Go ahead.
Therefore, hear the word at my mouth.
Right. Hear the word of the Lord's mouth. What's the mouth? Prophets. Luke 1. Amos, the 3rd chapter, goes into that too. He gave the secret unto his servants, the prophets. Okay? We're in the time of Malachi 3. Discerning who has the truth and who doesn't, man. We're getting the blood off our hands. Don't take it up with us. Take it up with Yahweh Shai. I don't get it. Back here years ago, you remember, one of the college kids came out and he was like, I just can't get it. Help me get it. Bro, we can't help you get it. Then I end up seeing him like,
you can stand over here.
That
way you can kind of get out of the way for the sidewalk.
I was doing too much studying. I don't know. But you got it up.
And give them warning from me.
Yeah, give them warning from the Lord. This is a heavenly warning, man. From the message from the heavens. The Lord's getting ready to come and tear shit up, man. Get ready to rip a hole through this place, man. And the Lord can do it with a snap of a finger, but no, he wants to torture you motherfuckers, man. Big Shirley, Keisha. Remember that fat lip Maria? I don't cook for my husband. I was cooking breakfast with my husband and said, where's mine? This is for the kids only, you bitch. The Lord's coming for our people, man. But this is the grace period. This is the time to be getting right. What are our people doing? Like Ella Yakazaki said, stinking up the field, man. My AU coaches say that. Stinking up the field, man. They're being lovers of themselves, right? OnlyFans, adulterers. They're worshiping any and everything. Worshiping their jobs. That's why they're crying for this thing to open back up. You got it.
I got Amos 9 and 8.
Come.
This is the book of Amos 9 and 8. Behold, the eyes of the Lord power are upon the sinful kingdom.
This is that sinful kingdom, man. America. Hands down. Why you think everybody flocks here? Why you think everybody comes here, man? Okay? Because you can do wickedness here. One of my exes was telling me, we cool. Was telling me, yeah, she only gonna take a trip to the Middle East. And she was like, yeah, I can't go over there with my cleavage out. I was like, yeah, you can. They'll fuck your ass up. But over here, a woman can walk butt ass naked. Right? Wickedness, man. Wickedness. Popping animals. All types of witchcraft going on. But yet, Reagan said this was the Bible was the law of the land. That's a lie. Because if so, things wouldn't be the way they are.
And I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I would not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith the Lord.
Yeah, that remnant. The Lord's going to destroy this place through missiles, man, along with the chariots. Zechariah 14? Somebody hold me Isaiah 66 and 15. The Lord's coming back with fire, man. This is the second death. First death was the flood. Yep.
This is the book of Zechariah 14 and 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem.
Right, which is the people. So-called blacks, Hispanics, Latinos, and American Indians, and there's white foreigners, man. That's the Lord's people. And who has fought against them? The heathen round about us, man. Wherever we're scattered amongst them, they're fighting against us, man. Some way, form, or fashion. Whether it's through working us to death, all right? We're being experimented on. All right, that's not talked about enough. You think monkeys are the only ones in those cages that, what do you think happens to all these missing people? All right, they're not just, deleted and sacrificed. Esau's one of those guys, man. He uses everything. Like how Gad would do. They would take a buffalo and use everything as much as they could off of it. Nothing wasted. That's what Esau does, man. You got it.
Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth.
Yeah, the future's gonna be over for these people, man. They ain't gonna be able to mock and scoff in that day. When you got, get to your local bunker or place of shelter, when sirens go off, it's gonna be too late, man. Everything you thought you was gonna do and wanted to do, it's gonna be, on fire. And our people gonna have to hold it, man. The Lord's gonna let our people feel it. They're gonna feel it, man. All the people that came up against him, first and foremost. His son, his men, the believers, they gonna feel it, man. Wrath belongs unto the Lord, man. You get pissed off somebody's your job, I was driving, somebody just cut me off and got in front of me and went slow. I send up curses. What can I do? Get out and throw a bottle at him? Curse him out? Nah, the Lord know how to get him, man. Somebody got that Isaiah 66?
I got it.
Nine.
Got 65 too.
Shit. Bring them both.
Let's start with 65. Let's start with 65 first. This is Isaiah chapter 65, verse 12. Therefore will I number you to the sword.
2/3 of our people, they're already numbered, man. See, we're playing out. Everybody has their own lot, man. This is the greatest movie ever. And 2/3 got a lot of destruction played out for them, man. Yeah, man, it seems like they're winning, they're getting over, but guess what? The Lord got a horrific deletion in writing for them, man. They don't know their latter end, because they don't believe these words. Motherfuckers think they're going to die in their sleep. They're going to die busted, I had Jake tell me, if I had to go out, I want to go out in something. All right. All right. You got it, out.
Okay, this is one movie, when they be showing those apocalyptic movies, when they know the world about to end, people be having orgies.
Yeah, partying, yeah.
So yeah, you might go out, having sex, when the missiles is flying.
Yep. Hey, days of Noah. Eating, drinking, marrying, giving in marriage.
Yeah. When it started raining, I'm pretty sure somebody was humping. When water started falling from the sky.
You spitting on me?
Yeah.
Therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter.
Right, you're gonna all bow down because there's nothing you can do, man. Right, Deuteronomy 32 comes to mind. We're all in the hands of the Lord, roughly paraphrasing. And this man controls your life. Can you imagine that? The entity that controls your life, you mock, you scoff, you don't do as he says. What do you think's gonna happen? That rope of mercy is gonna fucking disintegrate, man. Right along with your ass with this fire.
Because when I called, ye did not answer, When I spake, ye did not hear.
Right, because you got to remember, we're just poor. We're poor men, rich in faith. You know, the scriptures tell you when a poor man speak, who is this guy? You know? But these people are still up in these churches. You still listen to Creep Show. You still listen to Wallace Face. What's his name? Power Bottom.
Yeah.
This dude, man. You listen to the people of our people that's on TV. The so-called somebodies, man. You know? You didn't say I had I said my twin brother. Why should I listen to you? I'm not telling you to listen to me. You in the same position as me. Why should I listen to you? I got a great secret, man. This is what the Lord's gonna do. Alright, bro. That's how people look at us, man. I grew up with you. But I tell you how, this is carpenter's son. Alright. The Lord got to be dealing with somebody, man. And our people gonna find out the hard way. You got it?
When I spake, ye did not hear, but did evil before mine eyes.
Yeah, because we tell our people, and when this message is revealed to our people, you know what they like to do? Go 10 times harder than wickedness, because they've been cut. Ain't no way. But why am I not dead then? Why am I not destroyed yet? We've been celebrating Christmas my whole entire life. Okay. We're just giving the message. You know, need part of scripture. You know, because sinners get evil work, not executed speedily. Jake think they're in a good case. All right. Keep fucking around. You got it.
And did choose that wherein I delighted not.
Mm-hmm. And the Lord doesn't delight in wickedness, man. A lot of people are saturated with it because they're being ran by the wicked. And we're crying aloud, sparing not. Saying, look, you don't have to be that way. That's not the right way. But what our people say, is that Amos? Warning them called evil good and good evil, to put light for dark and dark for light. What we're doing, it says evil is wicked. Huh? That's Isaiah 5, the water. You know? But our people say what? Oh no, that's not. If everybody can't come join the party, y'all nah. Y'all wicked. Y'all racist. You know? But to the most part, we are to a certain degree. We're for our people. We're for the nation of Israel. Right? But they would never dare say the so-called white man is racist. Oh yeah.
Isaiah 66, verse 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind.
So the Lord, right, Yahushua, who the world enemy calls Jesus, he's coming back with fire. So when those idiots, you know, that was waiting for the Lord to come back, you know, it was in the forest somewhere. The scriptures say come back with fire. You know, if I hear that, I'm going, in God we trust. Got on his card. You know, he had 2 signs of it. But anyways, when you be like, let me get some more understanding on this. Because that's not what I was told how the Lord was coming back. But Jake like fairy tales. Jake like smooth things, as the scriptures say. He's coming back with fire, man. I don't know about y'all, but a little match. Stick your hand over that. That shit hurts, man. You got it.
To render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire.
Yep. He's coming back angry, man. And he's a so-called black man. Right from the tribe of Yahweh. You know, dad get mad. We get mad as fuck. You know, the Latinos, they get mad. But when Judah get mad, it's a rap, man. It's a rap. And the Lord's angry, man. Scripture says he's angry with the wicked every day. Can't wait to get down here and fuck shit up, man. This place needs new management. You know? We them employees going to HR. We got to do something about this boss here, man. Yeah, you know? I'm not getting paid. You know? He's forcing me to be homeless. I ain't got no food. The food he's giving me is plastic. You know, I saw something where, matter of fact, you know, having children now, man. Once you had a couple of, VXs, now they got like over like 20 VXs a baby has to get now before leaving the hospital, man. Hebrews 13 comes to mind. We have no continual city here, man. But we seek one. And it's going to come through fire, man. This is what's going to cleanse this place, man.
Basically, the baby is owned by the state.
Yeah. Because we are slaves. Think about it. You know, you watch some old slavery movies when, that was the slave master's baby. There wasn't nothing you could do about it. Nothing has changed. According to Baruch, the 3rd chapter. You got it out.
For by fire and by sword will the Lord plead with all flesh.
See, this is how the Lord's going to judge you, idiots, man. You numb nuts. All you loud talking people, man. The Lord's going to judge you through fire. Because I remember Jadakiss was doing one of his little freestyles, and he was like, pain will get a nigga's, I forgot how you put it, attention, pretty much. And it's true. Pain will get a nigga's attention, man. And the Lord's bringing it.
The pain and discomfort.
Yep. Fire and something?
It's just a thing.
You got no incense, bro?
In the light.
See if they got Oh, you on the camera? Never mind. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
And just like you said, niggas' attentions don't get got until pain or discomfort. And just like now with these food stamps, now people's attention getting got. Because now your stomach finna be touching your back. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many.
And the slain of the Lord shall be many. My God, can you hold me second Ezra 7 and 20? Can you bring that real quick? Baba Shah. The slain of the Lord shall be many. You can't put a number on many. I think it's 20. 7 and 20. Start there.
Then that perish in his life.
Yeah.
It's 2nd Ezra chapter 7, in verse 20. It says, "For there be many that perish in this life, because they despise the law of the Most High that is set before them."
Yeah, man. A lot of our people are going to perish because they despise this word, right? Which is for their betterment, which is for their everything that our people are really looking for is this knowledge, man. This is the comfort. This is the comfort, man. But yeah, our people seeking in, smooth things, other philosophies, right? The bag. Okay. I was doing a lesson on this basketball player. I don't know if y'all brothers may remember him, but Sebastian Telefib. He was a point guard by New York. He was like Stephon Marbury's little cousin. Yeah, he was really good, and make a long story short, he did 10 seasons in the league. Now he's back in the same projects, that he grew up in, man. Look, bugged the fuck out. They was doing like a little documentary on him, man. And now people, look, despise this word. What do you think's gonna happen to you, man? I forgot where I was going with it, but I gotta come back to it. But you got it, bro.
It's 2nd Ezra chapter 7, verse 21. It says, "For the Most High hath given straight commandment to such as come what they should do to live, even as they came, and and what they should observe to avoid punishment.
Yeah, so the Lord gave straight commandments through his prophets. All right? What our people should do. How they should be conducting themselves on the earth. Because you got to remember, transgressing the ways of the Lord is sin. And the wages of sin is deletion. Right? You're being removed from the earth. So a lot of our people that's not hearkening to his word, repenting, turning back, they're going to be removed from the earth, man. And it takes coming out of that fleshly mindset, man. What I want to do, what makes me feel good. You're going to destroy yourself with that mindset, man. I'll read some more.
Can you read it?
Yeah.
It's 2nd Ezra chapter 7, verse 22. It says, nevertheless, they were not obedient unto him, but spake against him and imagined vain things.
And that's been the thing for our people. Captivity after captivity.
It's 2nd Ezra 7, and verse 23. 22. 2nd Ezra 7 and 22. It says, nevertheless, they were not obedient unto him, but spake against him and imagined vain things.
Yeah, but spake against him and imagined vain things. Things can come to naught what you're thinking about, man. Right? That dude thought he was going to be an NBA legend. You know? Our people think they're going to be the best of all they can be in their wickedness, man. But guess what? The Lord's going to bring all that to naught. The Lord put us down here to what? Remember him. To serve him. To turn back to him. All right? And our people want none of it. So therefore, they got to sit in the miseries that's getting ready to befall them, man. Like the bar was going into. You got these women with all these damn kids. One lady says, yeah, I got 7 different baby daddies. Somebody gonna take care of these kids. You know?
It's 2nd Ezra 7 and verse 23. And deceived themselves by their wicked deeds, and said of the Most High that he is not, and knew not his ways.
Yeah, man. They said the Most High, he is not, man. And they knew not his ways because they didn't take heed to the prophets. And that makes you think about the rich, so-called rich of our people. Upper high status, upper echelon of Jake. They thought they made it, so they don't need the Lord. But it's going to be to their downfall, man. We're seeing it, man. We're seeing it. That was it on that.
I got something else.
Yep.
It's Jeremiah 6. I'll start at 16. Jeremiah 6 and 16. It says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, stand ye in the ways and see, and ask for the old paths.
Right. And ask for the old paths, the way of righteousness, man. All right, because you got to remember, we went off track. As a people, as a nation, we went off track, man. That's why we open up Isaiah 58. Cry aloud, spare not, look for that voice of the trumpet, and show thy people their transgressions in the house of Jacob, their sins, so they can get back on the right track, man. Okay? You got it?
Yep. Finishing Jeremiah 6 and 16, it says, where is the good way, and walk therein?
Yeah, where is the good way? Because look at all the ways that's been prescribed to you prior to hearing this, man. It didn't lead to a comfortability, right? Oh, well, I'm gonna join the army because, my uncle, or my grandfather, my father, you come back from war and you bug the hell out. You know what I'm saying? You work a corporate job. It ain't gotta be a corporate job, right? But a lot of these jobs you work, you gotta be more wicked to reach the top. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be cutthroat. You know? I knew somebody. It was a woman, and she was in a position of manager status, and she had to, in order to keep that job, she had to get rid of her staff. And she was like, I don't want to do that. You know, they got families, she's got to do the third, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, well, if you want to keep this job, either you have to do it or and continue to move up, or we going to ship you to West Bubblefuck if you want to keep a job. So she ended up leaving. You know? This place, look, wickedness is rewarded in this place, man. Unrighteousness is rewarded in this place because it's being ran by the wicked. You got it.
I'll read it again.
Yep.
Jeremiah 6:16, it says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, stand ye in the ways and see and ask for the old paths, where is the good way, and walk therein, and you shall find rest for your souls.
Yeah, this is what's going to rest your mind and your spirit, man. All right? For the most part. Because yes, we're still in the flesh, but guess what? We got the overall comfort, man. Because we know the end. We know the end of all things. You know? Pertaining to salvation, pertaining to getting into the kingdom. Right? We have it, man. And we're telling our people, look, this is the way. Right? Exodus 20 comes to mind. The Lord said, have no other idols before him. He's a jealous power. That's where it starts. Fearing the Lord is a treasure, man. But just because it's not a treasure in this world, our people don't want none of it, man. Fuck you then. May the Lord destroy you. Because us brothers up here, we want a righteous kingdom, man. We're seeking the old paths. We're telling you, look, come join this, man. Come get in this party. This is what's popping. This age we in is going out, man. It's going out.
Jeremiah 6:16, it says, but they said, we will not walk therein.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they said, no, we're not going to turn back to who? What's that name again? Oh, nah. JC is the only name I'm calling on. You know? That lemon pepper shrimp. Matter of fact, I'm going to pick up some shrimp scampi tonight. They don't want none of it. What do you... Yo, she's digging me. Yeah, but she's married, bro. But she's digging me. All right. They don't want none of it. That's why, you know, scripture also say, pray not for this people, man. When the Lord, you know, Esau has that gavel in the courtroom. When the Lord lay that motherfucker down, right? And them spirits pray for vengeance, them death angels start roaming around even more than what you see. Look. Hey, you got to hold it, man. And we're not going to be able to reprove it to these people sometime, man. Lord's not going to have it no more, man. You got it?
Yes, soon the talking will stop.
Yep.
Because, you know, we've been talking for a long time. And, you know, once the talking stop, you know, then it's action. And shit go get real.
But that's Jason, you know, he waits till the last minute. Want to try to call on the Lord when he's, you know, going through some type of adversity.
Yeah,
and then it's too late.
Slocky. You remember that dude that got pulled over by the cops? And they busted down the window. He's like, nah, it's too late. You know? You know, obviously you wasn't being a servant in sincerity and in truth. You know? Oh, yeah.
Jeremiah 6. It's Jeremiah 6 in verse 17. Time to early point. Also, I have set watchmen over you, saying, hearken to the sound of the trumpet. But they said, we will not hearken.
Yeah, hearken to the sound of this trumpet. Bro, it doesn't sound good to our people, man. You have bits and pieces to the tune, to the song that people may like, but overall, they don't like it, man. You know, makes you think about Ezekiel 33, I believe it is. You know, well that too, but you know, uh, when it's going to like this truth being a song, you know, 30, yeah, towards the bottom, you know, you may hit like a verse from a song. Oh yeah, I can have more than one woman. Oh okay, we're gonna be Cains. Okay, you know. But when you tell Jake, you know, the Heavenly Father looks like them, and it don't really matter what it looks like, you know. You got it.
Yep. Reaching the verses come. Jeremiah 6 and verse 18. Therefore hear, ye nations, and know, O congregation, what is among them. Jeremiah 6 and 19. Hear, O earth, behold, I will bring evil upon this people, even the fruit of their thoughts.
Yep, even the fruit of your thoughts, man. That's why we always pray, the Lord forgive us for our thoughts, man. Okay? Because they're wicked, man. Jeremiah 17 comes to mind, you know. You got it.
Yep. Finishing Jeremiah 6 and 19. It says, because they have not hearkened unto my words, nor to my law, but rejected it.
But rejected it, man. And what the Lord tells in Proverbs, the first chapter, you know, when I call you refuse, therefore he's going to laugh, he's going to mock when your fear cometh, man. Our people are really fucking around with the wrong one. They fucking around with the wrong one, man. You know, they say, go play with your kids, don't play with me. That's what the Lord's saying, man. So let's go back. Yeah.
Okay. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 7, and I started 12. The time is come, the day draweth near, let not the buyer rejoice, nor the seller mourn, for the wrath is upon all the multitude thereof.
Yep. Started in Ezekiel 12. Okay. Yeah.
This is Ezekiel 7 and 3. I started 3.
Yep.
Now is the end come upon thee, and I will send my anger upon thee.
Yep.
And I will judge thee according to thy ways.
Yep. So the Lord's getting ready to judge our people according to their ways. But guess what? He's judging you out of his law book. He's not going to judge you out of so-called white man's law book. He changes laws every freaking day. You know what I'm saying? He get caught with some madness now. He changes the law. You know? That's the devil for you, man. That's a deceiver for you. You got it.
And will recompense upon all thine abominations.
So a recompense is coming. And you know what I'm saying? Payback's a bitch. You got it.
And my eyes shall not spare thee, neither will I have pity.
So the only entity that's going to show you mercy is not going to give it to you, man. You can't run the man. You can't run to your cash. Your cash. Ish. You know what I'm saying? You can't, look, our people going to learn the hard way, man. Yahweh Shema Shah is the only way. I picked those up, man.
It's good. I told him to grab one.
Okay.
It's decent. I don't know if he might have it.
I don't think they have like sugar in it like that.
Yeah, a little bit. It tastes a little bit water.
We'll bring that next.
I started talking again. It's Ezekiel 7 and 4. And mine eyes shall not spare thee, neither will I have pity.
Yep, neither will the Lord have pity, man. The time of pity and mercy being shown is now. All right? Grace period soon is getting ready to be up, man. I mean, it's talking from the head apostles on down, been talking for years, man. Talking takes energy. got it.
But I will recompense thy ways upon thee, and thine abominations shall be in the midst of thee.
Yep.
And ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua.
Yep. Then you gonna know a prophet been among you, man. You know? Go ahead.
And this is Zechariah 7 and 9. Thus speaketh the Lord of hosts, saying, execute true judgment, and show mercy and compassion every man to his brother. And oppress not the widow.
That's a commandment. The Lord commands us to be brotherly to our brothers, man. You know? You have a lot of these people, like what's that nigga Charleston White? He has a point. You know? Black people can't be brotherly at all. He said he used to envy Mexicans, man, of the brotherhood they had. Now it was wickedness going on, yeah, of course. But not like how it is with the head tribe. You know, Judah.
Judah's like crabs in a barrel.
Yep.
You never want to see anybody on top.
Right.
Drag them down with them.
Yep.
Verse 10, and oppress not the widow, nor the fatherless, the stranger, nor the poor, and let none of you imagine evil against his brother in your heart.
Keep going.
But they refused to hearken, and pulled away the shoulder, and stopped their ears, that they should not hear.
There's going to be a recompense for that. Right? Look, you got to remember, our people see us and think it's us, but Luke 10 comes to mind. He that hear of you, hear of me. And he that, matter of fact, I'm going to get it real quick. I don't want to butcher it. Get it real quick. This is Luke chapter 10. I think it's 15 or 16. Here we go. If you know, you know. Luke 10 and 16. He that hear of you, hear of me. And he that despiseth you, despiseth me. And he that despiseth me, despiseth him that sent me. So it's really the Lord, man. They see us, but it's really the Lord, man. You know?
Those requests the Lord is ultimately asking our people to do is, as Scripture say, was 1 John 5. For this is love the Lord, that we keep his commandments. His commandments are not grievous. It's not a hard thing to do. You know? Stop eating shrimp, ham, pork, lobster, stop committing adultery. It's not hard, man. You know? But they love darkness, man. That's the whole thing.
Here we go.
Zechariah 7 and 12. Yay.
Oh, finish your statement, Michael.
That was it. You know? Love your neighbor. You know, keep the commandments. You rehearse the rights to act, but again, the Lord's not asking us to do something impossible. You know, it's just like our people, they love, they love darkness, but they love evil.
Yeah, the scripture says, you love not your brother whom you have seen, how shall you love the heavenly Father whom you have not seen?
Yeah. Esau's the devil, man. He made me thinking, it's not hard in the way the Lord's not grievous. Like, I went to the store and beef bacon was right there with the pork bacon, right there with the chicken bacon, the turkey bacon. How hard is it? I mean, it may be a couple of dollars more or whatever. Yeah, beef bacon's good, man. But, it's not that the Lord gave us options, man. But
I paid it $10
$10.
This is Zechariah 7 and 12.
I got it for $8.
We might as well send it.
Yeah, it was. I think it was.
Yea, they made their hearts as an adamant stone, lest they should hear the law and the words which the Lord of hosts hath sent in his spirit by the former prophets. Therefore came a great wrath from the Lord of hosts.
Yeah, because our people are hard-headed, man. They don't want nothing to do with righteousness. A lot of people cast it behind them, man. The ways of the Lord in their eyes is too much. They grieves them, You ain't got that smuggling on today, man. What's up, man?
I was in the store.
I'm messing with you, brother.
Making some damn shit.
Oh man. Damn. Damn chitlins. That's pretty much it. Alright, so I'm gonna bring out one more. I'm gonna pass it out. I didn't mean to go this long. You good? Was we holding anything?
Amos 9. We brought out Isaiah.
What that Ezekiel 33 and 30?
Yeah, let's get that one. Let's get that Amos, and then that. Then I'll pass it on.
So Amos chapter 9 and verse 8, it says, "Behold, the eyes of the Lord Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, said the Lord Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai."
Yeah, and that sinful kingdom's right here in America, man. The Lord's going to destroy it. He's destroying it now. You got Egyptian getting against the Egyptian. All right. Esau doesn't know what move to make next. You got fights among the elites. You got fights among the American people. You got fights amongst, you know, the people who are insignificant of the earth. Okay. Wars erupting. Earthquakes all over the place. It's not being talked about. Uncurable diseases.
Those massacres going on over there in Africa.
Yeah, I was thinking about that when I seen wars. Yeah, yep. You know, you got Hamite women running with phones saying, "Oh, you know, they're destroying us. They're putting us down."
I was just reading. They said it was public mass gang rapes going on over there.
Yep.
You know, it's evils going over there right now. And they said they talking about it was children and babies as young as 1 getting raped. So you know it's real bad. It's real bad over there right now. It's terrible. It's evil is a scent over there for real right now.
Also, it must be something that Atlanta Esau wants. You know,
it's more the surface level than they're showing us.
Yep.
They're showing us what they want us to see.
Yep.
They said there's always an ulterior motive. Look at them crazy baboons over there. Let's
Yep.
bring some order.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, while you look at that, matter of fact, while I'm here, look at that little dinosaur. You know,
You letting them do that. Yeah. Because it's a man claiming to have over 2,000 bodies. Esau Edom would have been if it wasn't a plot, a nefarious plot. Esau Edom would have been ran up in there and got that man up out of there.
you know, it's confusion for what's going on in Israel. That's what I think.
Yep.
What's happening over there? The Gaza Strip, they want to, you know.
Oh, Turkey, I believe it was Turkey. They trying to bring Netanyahu to take him to jail for genocide.
Yeah, he's still on charges.
Yeah. Yep.
You know how that shit goes.
Yeah, Mikowski.
Right.
Mikowski.
Yeah. This is Ezekiel 33 and 30. Also, thou son of man, the children of thy people still are talking against thee by the walls.
Yeah, and you see that, you know, out here too, but, you know, now behind the camera, man. You know, everybody got a phone, they're on their TikToks, their Instagrams, they talking shit. You know, they're you know, let me tell you about these Israelites. Then you got some like, oh, Israelites, they're kind of all right, whatever the case may be, but everyone's talking. Like Apostle Hart said, it's a good thing. You know, I didn't, you know, take that stance at first, but I get it. You know, I was getting on Jerusalem, but he has a part to play. You know, and he's bringing, you know, a spotlight to this thing.
It's not being wicked, though.
Facts.
It says, in the doors of the houses, and speak one to another, everyone to his brother, saying, come, I pray you, and hear what the word that coming forth from the Lord.
Yeah, listen to this, man. These guys said they're the chosen people. Come listen to this.
Yeah, like it's a zoo spectacle.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to see the lion inhabit? What's it called? You want to see the lion enclosure?
Yeah.
You know, here, look, there goes some monkeys, there goes some. That's how they look at us, man. You know, and like I said with the Drewski thing, that's how little they think of what we're doing, man. A lot of times, because you got dumbass Jakes out there that actually do that goofy shit. You know, 1 second into the video, niggas saying that's right already. You know, it's
Stay on the ground.
As soon as the camera, we about to go live. That's right.
That's how that one body in Satan was. Them ages down there in Dallas. They don't even go out anymore. Good.
Yeah, go enjoy your food.
That's how them niggas was in that camp. Nigga, that's right. Like, nah, damn. This is Jeremiah. That's right. That's an Asian, right? Like,
Cough.
Yeah.
Bring it up.
We had one guy like that. You know, he kept coming
Oh,
out every
yeah.
week. That was Sam or
You talking Charlotte?
Son of Sam.
nah, the dude out here. He was
Oh,
like,
Jeff.
Yeah.
Jeff.
But they come to find this thing was smoking cigarettes.
Yo, right here, right
Yeah. We're at the camp. Yeah, brothers on the
Bro,
scene.
like, yo, he got sick.
He was in the camp?
Nah, he was on the other side.
Oh, okay.
To be honest with you, he was coming out before me. He was supposed to been in the camp. Yeah, Jeff, yeah.
Ezekiel 33 and 31, and they come unto thee as the people cometh, and they sit before thee as my people,
Right.
and they hear thy words, but they will not do them.
And that's literally, and I just speak from my experience in short time, and the truth happens thousands of times. Jacob come up on the other side and stand there. Oh, yeah, shit, that's on point. He can leave, and he'll never do what was sent to do. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what happens, man. Jacob, again, you don't have the spirit of Yahweh within them, so that the word of wisdom is just in one ear out the other, man. By the time he gets up the block, he forgot what he was being taught.
Yeah, I was watching this clip. This guy, he was pressing him to get an interview out of him and ask him, basically like, how did you get rich and stuff, right? He's like, man, I don't want to do this interview because I know the people watching this are going to forget. He said, the people watching this are going to forget this. He said, you're going to forget this anyway. And he went through the process of really, being stoned and things like that. Oh damn, I'm going to forget this. You know what I mean? I want to be one of them guys that forget it. That's how our people are with this truth. They hear, they see, and like, I don't remember what they were talking about.
Exactly. Short attention span when it comes to righteousness. Real short. But wickedness nigga will watch the whole game. He don't get up to use the bathroom. I can't miss this quarter. Nigga don't even get up to use the bathroom. All the niggas' last names, where they went to college at, stats, all the stats. His cousin, I knew his,
Hey, real talk, that was being the world. I wasn't a sports commentator, so I was into it. You know what I'm saying?
But it's a spirit, though. That commentation is a spirit, though.
Yeah, it is.
Love that shit.
Yeah.
Wisdom, too high.
Ezekiel 33 and 31, but they will not do them, for with their mouth they show much love, honking the horn. They love honking the horn.
Putting that fist out.
Yeah, putting the fist out. But their heart goeth after their covetousness.
When you go into NLT, the word is money. They go chasing after money. Going after ultimately what they want to do, man.
I know.
Again, what are these people doing driving past, every Saturday, on their agenda to do? Enjoy themselves, have fun, make some money, man. Not, let me go find the words of Yahweh Shai, man. Because in the ancient world, you knew where the prophets were. Yeah. You'll say, let me go to the chief place of concourse so I can find what my soul loves. It's supposed to be Song of Solomon, man. But they want to come downtown to bullshit and party, man.
Exalt their wickedness.
Yep. It says, and lo, thou art unto them as a very lovely song of one that have a pleasant voice and can play well on the instrument, for they hear thy words, but they do them not.
They hear the words of the Lord, but they don't do them. This verse is not mixed with faith. Because these words have to be mixed with faith. It's not going to do you no profit.
Right.
Of course, if you don't fear Yahweh Shai, you don't have faith, man. It's the same words you're hearing, we heard, man, and we believe. But most of our people are going to hear and do what the hell they want to do, man. They don't understand how serious, the situation that we're involved in, man. And what's to come down the pipe going to really prophecy. Jake don't see no interest in prophecy. What's that got to do with me? It has a lot to do with you, man.
And you could teach some, brothers are going into how, in our culture, we make songs that, have things stick. Yeah, that's why you have the ABC, the Psalms. Like, if you put a beat behind it and instruments, you remember those things. Just like the ABC song growing up, ain't nobody ever forgot the ABCs, So, that there's, you're supposed to hear this song and instruction and follow them.
That song.
Commercials, Liberty, Mutual Insurance. It's demonic, bro.
Yeah, Liberty.
Shit, we know that shit too. I can say it right now.
I got a precept. What I don't know. You said one of y'all said it. Oh, my God said it. Can I real quick? Yeah, this is Hebrews 4:2. It says, "For unto us was the gospel preached, as well as unto them. But the word preached did not profit them, not being mixed with faith in them that heard it."
Yep, so not mixed with faith them that heard it. It didn't do the spiritual process it's supposed to do. It's supposed to first humble you. Strike that match, that fear, like, the whole time in that aha moment. They don't got no aha moment coming up here. They go, again, nothing's clicking, man. They'll hear, they'll agree, but again, they don't turn from their wickedness because they don't want to put off what they're doing and serve the Lord. They got more important to do, man. This book is old, it's outdated. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with my life. It's 2025. What about the bag? That's all they want to talk about is money. As far as feeding your soul, building integrity, having virtues that please Yahweh Bashar. They don't got that, man.
Right.
They figured out everything under the sun besides serve their power. They wear suit and tie, fucking no rocket science. They can do between the legs, 360 dunk. Besides everything except for serve the Lord, man. Wise to do evil, but to do good, they have no knowledge because they don't have no space for knowledge. They have all the space for evil, and simplicity and folly. But to serve the Lord, no space,
Yeah, they don't have a desire for it. You want your woman, of course your woman needs you. She needs a guidance. But, you want her to want you too. To that want, that desire, that longing for. You gotta long after instruction and wisdom. I was watching the brothers. There you go, brothers been in this thing, 10, 15, 20 years and still have that mindset of, I gotta do better. I gotta do more. I don't know if I made it yet. That's the spirit you gotta be in when it comes to this truth. Jake feels like, because we, in our culture, we master things and move on and master the next thing. But to master oneself, that's going to take a lifetime. I play video games. I master that. Call of Duty. I'm retired. On to the next thing.
I got something real quick. Mike, you going to this? Straight to the point. Matthew 6:21. It says, NLT, wherever your treasure is, there the desires of your heart will be also.
Yeah, you have a treasure.
Yep.
It's like you got a nigga got a piggy bank, keep putting in work to make sure it's full. So where your treasure is, there where your heart be also, you're constantly gonna be thinking about, I gotta do the work to make sure this piggy bank gets full. I gotta do this, to make it fulfilled.
Yeah, it's been since we started up. Yeah. Nah. Yeah. Yeah, this is Matthew 6:21 NLT. Wherever your treasure is, there the desires of your heart will be also.
Yeah, so your desire of your heart, what you truly think about is what you truly treasure at the end of the day. People say they treasure this, they love that. They really don't. They don't put any focus on it. Sophia is like to a woman. That's wisdom in the Greek, Sophia. And it's like to a woman. A woman wants you to show that you love her.
144. My car. Yeah. We got one more.
Continual attention.
Right.
Energy.
You don't love me anymore. Jake fall out of your love with Yahweh by Shimon Shai. You know, that's why some say I have odds with thee, because I have forgotten thy first love.
And like you said earlier, you know, this ain't something you can retire from or stop growing in.
Right.
You know, because there's always something new to learn. You know, and it's an old stoic quote. You know, the more you know and the more you learn, the more you know nothing.
Yeah, the more you learn, the more you realize. Yeah, the more I learn, the more I realize I don't know. The more I realize I don't know, the more I want to learn.
And you got to think, there's infinite knowledge out there, infinite knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and information out there that our brains right now in this physical flesh can't even grasp or hold. You know, which is why, you know, once the Lord returns and we get into our spiritual bodies, we'll be able to understand and receive and eat up certain knowledge and information that we couldn't handle right now, because this information and knowledge out there right now that these physical bodies and brains can't even grasp or handle. You know, that'll probably, you know, make us like just look at things way differently. You know, but this knowledge and wisdom and understanding that we're receiving now is a high level, especially compared to this Book of Simple Kingdom society and world that we live in today, because our eyes is open and we on a whole different frequency and vibration to where we detaching from this world, and we detach it from the ways of this world, because we realize it's all vanity and it's all foolishness.
These are natural brute beasts made to be taken and destroyed. You know, brute beasts, a beast, he just does things. You know, like the Joker said, he's like a dog chasing his tail. He wouldn't know what he did. He wouldn't know what to do if he caught it.
Right.
You know, these people just do things. They get deep as hell over here.
I got one more for you. This is Matthew 6:24 in NLT. No one can serve two masters, for he will hate the one and love the other. You will be devoted to one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and money.
Yeah, you can't serve, you know, because you got to master something, and to serve a master. Well, a master is going to have certain rules, certain guidelines. Like, brothers, you got to be a master of your house. You got to have rules set up. You can't just let, you know, things slide. You gotta have order. You got to set order. So to be a servant, you know, to society, you know, to sell out, you know, for money and things of that nature, you know, well, that goes contrary to what Yahweh Shema Shai requires of us. You know, because give me poverty nor riches, feed me food that's convenient to me. This world has this mindset, just go, you know, secure the bag. You know, it's never enough. You know, I was watching this guy on YouTube, into the stock market and stuff. He got like a $4 million portfolio. This nigga say he won a $50 million portfolio. I'm like, God damn, nigga. Like, $4 million not enough? Like he said, and then, you know, when he gets to 50, let's say, then he's gonna say, man, I could do 200 million. You know, and then, you know, I've heard stories of, you know, guys saying, well, I mentored this guy, he had $40 million, but he wasn't satisfied. He was risky, and now he's only down to $3-4 million. You know, it's like, goddamn. So like the guy was already there. It shows you. You know, it ain't really, because it's not money you're after. People were looking for validation, thinking money is gonna validate them. Yep. You know, only you know, you gotta have peace. That's what Yahweh Shai came to offer. My peace I give unto you, not as the world give I unto you. Let not your heart be troubled. You know, people's minds are troubled here in Babylon the Great, thinking that paper can make you happy. If you're wise with money, yeah, you can do things, but really, what's enough? Your daily bread, as long as you're sufficient for the day, you should be good. That's what the scriptures teach us. You don't know what tomorrow can bring. You know, you might not be here tomorrow.
And that's why people go And that's why people go bug out when shit hit the fan and everything come crashing down, because they put their heart and energy and treasures into the things that moth and rust doth corrupt. You know, because now when you look, because and what, it's been thousands, tens of thousands of layoffs this year alone. Thousands. So then you got people losing their jobs, and you know what happens when people lose their jobs and their careers? Not that high expensive car. Now you can't afford them payments. Now you can't afford your mortgage because your mortgage going up. Your housing insurance is going up.
Yep. Hyperinflation.
Yeah, hyperinflation. And now the lifestyle that you chose to live, now you can't afford it, and now you got to downgrade.
Real quick. It says millionaires tutor. The U.S. has more people without work than available jobs.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's showing the signs of the times, because here really there should be a hiring spree. We're coming into the holiday season. You know, this is where you get your secondary job. You know, you got your main career job. This is where you pick up the second job at the mall. You know, at the little soap store. You hand out soaps after you get off of your shift. You know, 5 to 9. Retail. You know, this is where retail is supposed to go on the hiring. But over the last 5 years, you know, if you've been paying attention to retail stores, you know, they've been, their sales, their gross margins they've been in the negative. They're in the red. People, consumer sentiment is at an all-time low. You know, consumers can't afford, and really, that's why they want to get rid of you useless eaters. Because the billionaires, the 700 billionaires here in America, they can continue on living their lifestyle. We're coming to the time of the haves and the have-nots. They don't need the everyday consumer to beef up the economy. You know, because what their economy is leading to is an AI digital world, and they can fund it without you. Right? You got it, bro. Any more? You got anything more?
I got Matthews. This is Matthew chapter 15, verse 8. This people drove nigh unto me with their mouth, and honored me with their lips, but their heart/mind is far from me.
Yeah, you see that, you know. Oh, sweet Jesus. You know, God is love. You know, that's the spirit that our people are in. You know, even, can I brother Matthew 7:21? 7:21. Now everybody say, oh, me, Lord, Lord. You know, because our people, even they of the circumcision that know they're Israelites, you know, they're in that spirit. You know?
But in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men.
Yep, in vain do they worship me. You know, it's a can you hold Ecclesiastes 12:1? That's what
I'll get it.
you know, it's all vain. You know, it's not going to amount to anything because they're truly not giving their all to the Lord. You know, they're shortchanging Yahweh Shema Shai. You know, it's like you got a woman, you ask her, hey, you know, I'll be home, can you make me this meal? This woman waits till you get home to start preparing the meal. Like, damn, you
pulling in the driveway.
Pulling the driveway. So what do you want to eat, babe? Like, damn.
I was hoping it was already.
Yeah, I was hoping like you would at least have, you know, something sizzling. You know, at least gotta be sizzling. You know, the meat touching the pan, it starts sizzling. You know, but our people are not in that spirit. They're lax. You know, they're saying it is vain to seek the Lord. You know, that they're in the spirit of an Edomite. What does it profit me to seek the Lord? For thou sayest I am rich and have need of nothing. That's the spirit the Edomites are in.
This is Matthew chapter 7.
And we get to like Ecclesiastes 12, the keepers of the house.
Yep.
Matthew 7:21. Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah, and that Lord is Yahweh Shai. You have that ISUPK member, a new guy, very young man, a novice, not knowing anything, but yet proud, lifted up with pride. A novice lifted up with pride. I could say the same thing about you. We can the mouth, the tongue, the ear, the discerneth words, just as the mouth discerneth meats, taste of meats. We can discern when someone's being sarcastic, when someone, we can discern all that, right? And Yahweh Shema Shai, his name has gone out to the four corners of earth, and some of our people think, oh, I got the name, I'm good. Scripture say the name of the Lord is a strong tower, but you don't really trust in the Lord. Trust is a two-way street. When you trust the Lord, why callest thou me Lord? Thou doest not the things that I command you. That's the spirit of the Lord is coming in.
Matthew 7:21. Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven.
That's what Yahweh Shai said, well, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man come unto the Father but by me. So there is instructions that's been left for you to enter into the kingdom of heaven. You have to enter in at the straight gate, a path of difficulty, right? A path of denying yourself, denying worldly pleasures, worldly lusts, right? You have to deny covetousness. You got to be okay with what you got during this time of grace. Right? You gotta, seek Yahweh Shema Shai 10 times more. Right?
That's a Christian mindset. Lord,
Yeah, because you see, a lot of these Christians, they, a lot of these young pastors, they be securing the bag. They be loaded, filthy, stinking, filthy rich. But really, we're rich.
right.
Brothers have what people would never have: integrity.
Exactly.
Self-esteem, high self-esteem, but not mixed with pride. Right?
Faith.
Humility, right? Meekness. These are things the world don't have.
Maybe.
I was just thinking, because what it is people are attached to their traditions. They think traditions, Christmas, celebrating birthdays, that's going to college, getting a doctorate or whatever, get a high-paying salary job. That's gain is godliness. That's what they call it, man. That's why you go into Matthew 15 chapter. Yahweh Shai is getting on with the scribes and Pharisees about the disciples, why they don't wash their hands. I'm saying, before they eat. Yeah. That's a tradition. It's an outward tradition, but inwardly, they don't got nothing to do with righteousness, man. Exactly. They value, in this world, they value traditions over truth. They know Thanksgiving is wrong, but because of traditions, it's always about the family. But the truth is, it's about a massacre, man.
Right.
These my hands, nigga. I'm putting this food in my mouth. Why you worried about what I got going on?
Yeah.
Nigga, you walk out the bathroom without washing your hands. He look at you like crazy. This dirty ass bathroom. I'm supposed to wash my hands in this dirty ass bathroom. The damn knob ain't been wiped down ever.
Hey.
Everybody in there, mama, them took a piss, touched the dirty knob, and now I gotta touch it and wash my hands.
Right.
And I gotta touch it again and turn the knob off. This is a wicked, people. Low society.
We used to talk about the Christians. I think about the times on one of my old jobs, and it was a delivery job, and the guy came out and was checking me in, checking my boxes up in. He said, "Man, I'm about to be a pastor." And he was a Jake. He like an Edomite, but he was a Jake. You know what I'm saying? And so he was like, like I'm doing it, and my face was like, I had a blank stare, because I was like, you gotta go teach some fucking lies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, in his mind, he's doing God's service, because it's a tradition. Don't be a pastor. You the pastor. You holy. You're not, man. The Pope.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I saw that clip of that pastor. he was sleeping with men in his congregation.
Oh
And
yeah.
they had the capital H
Yeah.
to the I to the B.
Yeah.
I was like, who's the cameraman recording the camera?
Right.
That's why, like,
I thought it was AI at first, but you know, it's truth. There's a lot of truth in that.
mm-hmm.
You know, no houses stories come out. Yeah.
Eddie Long.
Eddie Long throwing stroking.
Yeah.
Yep. He disintegrated quick too. Yeah, he was buff.
Yeah. He caught something.
Yeah, he caught that thing.
Yeah.
You want that Ecclesiastes now?
I got Ecclesiastes.
Okay, now.
This is Colossians 2 and verse 8. Colossians 2 and 8. Beware, lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
Yeah, beware means to be on guard. You know, beware of philosophies. I mean, philosophies, you know, everyone has. You know, it can be.
Things you live by.
Yeah, things you live by. It's not.
Get money from bitches. That's a philosophy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that philosophy it's a vain deception, right? MOB, money over money over riches, money over everything. You know, those are vain philosophies. You know, you can have that's why you have stoicism. You know, certain of those philosophies are actually beneficial. You know, it puts you into a certain mindset. You know, of bettering yourself. You know, but beware of philosophies. Read it again now.
Colossians 2 and 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy.
And that word spoil means to rob. You know, so many minds have been robbed of what your true intentions should be.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, people coming out, you know, a big gathering in the park. You know, let's gather on Saturday. You know, when majority of those people are probably, you know, in student loan debt. You know, they're thinking like, man, are we going to get food after this? Because, you know, I got chicken noodle soup at home, you know, canned goods at the house. You know, and people believe that they're doing a good service. You know, community. Let's be in the community. Let's do this. Let's all band together. You know, when this community, you know, is going to be destroyed.
Right.
You know, so many main things people live by. You know, that are going to destroy, that are going to lead to their destruction here in these last days. And we have to be on guard. You know, not as children tossed to and fro with every wind of doctrine.
Colossians 2 and 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after traditions of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Yahushua.
Yeah, after the rudiments of this world. And it's not after Yahushua, what Yahushua told us to follow. What the principles he told us to live by. You know what I mean? And it's going to lead to other destruction, other peril. What is hooping and hollering on the park on a Saturday afternoon going to get you? You know, famine is coming. There were reports that there was food banks, you know, runs on these different food banks. You know, people passing out food. You know, I heard Dabu 7 reported over like 100,000 people were at the local food bank organization in Texas. You know, and that's 100,000 people. That's a mob right there. They can do a lot. That's a small army. They can do a lot of damage.
That's a population. That's a whole city. More than the city. You know, 100,000.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Do you like the Matthew 7 book? Show those a little bit more. I want to read on that. Matthew 7 and 22, 23.
oh, this is what I was about to say. It's a lot. And you got federal workers having to go to these food banks because they're not getting paid. So imagine you a federal worker, you got a good paying job, and you're not getting paid. You gotta go stand in the food line.
Let me back you up. This is from the U.S. It says U.S. News. It says the U.S. government is telling soldiers abroad to go to local food banks during the shutdown. This is military. How much more the people? use of heaters.
That's madness.
And eventually, tyranny happening. And eventually they'll, things get too bad, they'll stop fighting for their army. You know what I mean? 'Cause they can't lock everybody up. But the government, we'll see. People are, saying it could be on by next week. It's really, this is all, trial and error for Esau Edom.
Yeah. This is going back to Rome. Ancient Rome, it's the same things that at ancient Rome before famine, currency debasement and famine, man.
Yeah, military spread too thin.
Exactly. Yeah. You can't feed your troops. You got infighting. Too many, all these philosophies, all these different types of people meshed in one area. Eventually, that's gonna lead to what? A war, man. That's why people up the block, you go up the corner of your own house, man. People, red or blue. What are you? Left or right? Because this is the time Yahushua said, the time of division. It's supposed to be sown apart.
What kind of American? Remember, the Civil War.
I was thinking about that.
Are you American? What kind of American? What state you from? So yeah, it's gonna get bad.
I got a quick one. It's Mark 3:24. And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand but have an end.
Yeah, you see that. It's crazy. Everybody's on the internet complaining about the same thing, right? Price of groceries are too high. Rent is too high. Basically hyperinflation. Everybody's on the internet complaining about the same thing, but when they see their fellow Americans suffering, that's what you deserve.
Right.
You've been living off of the government for too long. You've been taking my bread for too long. It was like, what do you mean? I saw the clip. They had Ronald Reagan and I can't remember these presidents' names. They all look the same to me. The nigga that used to be the actor, I think Reagan, yeah. You had Reagan saying, the government isn't gonna answer all of our problems. And then you had Bush, another nigga saying, government can answer some of our problems. And now you got this mayor elect in New York saying we're gonna prove that the government can answer all of our problems.
Yeah.
So it was showing like how the people have been dumbed down to trust in the government.
Damn.
But they've been the one fumbling the bag the whole time.
Exactly.
We should cut interest rates. No, don't cut interest rates. Really they should raise interest rates. Have a short-term pain, to later come. But this world doesn't know that. They want immediate pleasure. And they don't know that immediate pleasure instead of delayed gratification, right? Delayed gratification is always going to be the way.
Right.
They should be raising interest rates. You should go through a mini recession now so you can skip the major depression later. But there's no escaping it because it's all biblical problems.
This is from the humor. It says, working 40 hours per week won't cover a 2-bedroom in any U.S. state.
Yeah, I mean, there's truth to that, right? Because the majority of people are making $18 an hour. Now, if you are less, right? Now if you have a couple, and that's why women try to have these deflated standards, because they'll go to school, have a decent job, but they want to live a luxurious lifestyle. So they want a man that went to school so they can both live a lifestyle. And then it's just like, all right, we go 50-50 on everything.
Equally yoked.
Equally yoked together.
Bitches be.
That's the madness of the society,
Nah, the nigga woman don't want to be equally yoked.
I know,
She
right?
just want to be taken care of. while she laying out of shape, don't want to cook her clean, but want somebody to take care of her children that she got by multiple men.
Yep. So this society is falling down. Read it one more time.
I got another one after that. It says, working 40 hours per week won't cover a 2-bedroom in any U.S. state.
Yeah, I don't know if that's for couples or individuals.
Individual.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't live in a 2-bedroom anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But most people working a full-time job have some type of side hustle. And I was talking to the guy at Mattress Firm. He's like, "Oh yeah, I do Amazon. I deliver packages for Amazon."
Yeah.
You know, so most people, you know, are living, and you have a lot of these couples to where they're forced to move into a small 1-bedroom apartment, and now they can afford that and live a little bit more comfortably.
Yeah.
Because they want the liberties of still being able to go out to eat every once in a while. You know, the liberties to drink their beer. You know, people ain't really feeling it like that. People still are doing a little bit of things to give them some type of pleasure. Still going to the Starbucks. You know what I mean? I mean, if it was really bad, these stores, these fast food restaurants wouldn't be out. You know, people would be chilling. But, you know, Americans, I saw a report, 45, average American, you know, more likely, you know, right, between 45 and 54 has a net worth of at least $800,000. You know, so Americans, they have money, you know, but they see their inheritance dwindling. That's why people, you know, are trying to live off of equity of their homes, right? We're in a horrible case right now. It's just not enough people yet for people to be rioting in the streets.
Yep.
Go ahead.
This is according to the National Low Income Housing Report of 2025. A full-time worker needs to earn hourly wages of $33.63 to afford a modest home.
Yeah, and that's true. I mean, that's why most people try to get overtime at the job. The average person is working 50 to 60 hours a week. You know, can brother do the math real quick? What's 2,000 divided by 52? You know?
38.46.
What is it? 38.46. They said the average American works 2,000 hours a year. And they said this robot working at the Toyota dealership building cars up, this thing can work 1,500 hours in like half the year, half the time. Because he's been working he's been working 10-hour shifts every single day. You know, no days off. And they were like, that's productivity. You know? That's what people were saying.
I got one more. It says the average U.S. worker would have to work 116 hours per week, which is 3 jobs, to afford a 2-bedroom rental. So, and you know, it's true to this because a lady out where I live at, she, you know, we was conversating. She lives in a 1-bedroom, and she has to work 3 jobs just for that 1 bedroom. And she was like, "Yo, when my lease is up here, I'm moving." You know, and she's a single woman.
I mean, you can't afford to live on your own. You gotta have multiple sources of income.
Right.
Because I mean, like the rent, the car note, groceries, you're gonna be pretty much living paycheck to paycheck.
Hey, bro.
Sure. From the jacket?
Yeah.
The one though.
It fit though.
Yeah, it do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, what they got up in there now? No, I'm good.
So I got.
What is it?
Huh?
What is it?
You always get that dirty chocolate.
Nah.
You always do.
No, I do, but I'm good. So, nothing to drink. I mean,
Give me a cookie, big bro.
Hopefully those healthy.
I got it, too. I got it. So brothers know, I got it. Hey, oh what? I got it. His face like, man, what? So it says the average U.S. worker will have to work 116 hours per week, which is 3 jobs to afford a 2-bedroom rental.
Yeah, 100. I mean, the crazy thing is, it's like you don't need that much space. You know, when you realize if you get a nice size place, you live there for a little bit, you you know, you be like, man, I grew up, you know, we grew up with a 2-bedroom apartment. I mean, 2-bedroom little, you know, you had houses back in the day. We had a 2-bedroom house. I shared a room with my brother until I was, you know, until I graduated high school almost. You know what I mean? So, like, you share the room with your brother, his girlfriend come over, you gotta leave.
Yep, been there.
You know, now your sister, she's the only one with her own room because she's the only girl, right? Your cousin come over, he in the room with y'all two. So what do y'all mean? Like, you done had 3 men in one room before. You done experienced it. So why you get older, like, you know, you need all this space. Jake grow up and forget where he came from. You know, you got family members. They might be doing. They want to travel every quarter. Like, we didn't grow up traveling. You know, we grew up living a simple life. Eating out was a luxury. Now brothers, they get a little bit of money. Brother get their first job. They eating out every day. Like, what you doing? You grew up on cooked meals. Why don't you keep cooking? People forget how to live just because of money.
They live above their means. You know? Because it be some people that go broke and they be like, it's really no reason for you to go broke for the amount of money that you making. Because you think about the times when you wasn't making that amount of money, you was living just fine.
You're surviving. You know, what does one person need with 2 bedrooms? What you need all that space for? How much junk do you need?
Yeah, if I may say, the times we're living in and coming in, you have to have that, we talked about this before, you gotta have a minimalist mindset. You know? And that also puts you in a mindset, believe it or not, of feeling like you have a lot. Even though you have a little.
Yeah. Shit, I got so much food in the house, I'll be like, I gotta go to the grocery store and buy some more food, but I ain't even use the food I got. Protein powders. Oh yeah, you see this Instagram thing? I gotta get this protein powder now. You ain't used the protein.
Yeah. First in, first out.
Yeah, you ain't even first in, first out yet. So people, you know, I ain't working 130 hours for a 2-bedroom. That's a dub.
I might add too, you got a lot of older adults with families moving back in with their parents.
Yep.
They should have been there with their parents. Shit, if I could, I'll live with my mom right now. You know what I mean? You know, live with them. Nice little house. If we had a house, I would move in with the family.
In the nature world, your children get set up with an inheritance.
Yeah.
Get of age, you earn it, it's ain't on your way.
Yeah. That ain't the case now. Everybody, what is a single family home? Who does that benefit? A single family home? Now I need 3 generations in that house. You know? You got it, bro. Bring it up.
It's Revelation chapter 6. Revelation 6, I'll start at 5. It says, and when he had opened the 3rd seal, I heard the 3rd beast say, come and see. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse. Mm-hmm. And he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. Mm-hmm. Yep, Revelation 6 and 6. And I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny.
Yeah, a measure of wheat for a penny. A penny is speaking about the Roman denarius. I was gonna say denarius. Yeah, denarius. You know, which is basically a day's pay. You know, and it's sustainable for a man with a moderate appetite. You know, as hyperinflation is coming. You know, so it's a measure of wheat for a penny. Go ahead, brother.
Revelation 6 and 6, and I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny.
Yep. So basically, a day's wage, you know, is what's going to cost for you to eat your meal. And now, you go out to eat, you know, you go get a burger and fries. You're going to spend $20. Most people make $20 an hour. So what? You're $20. That's 1 hour of my life right there. You know, Starbucks. All right, you go get your Starbucks. You might get a treat, which you can treat yourself, $11. Damn, that's 45 minutes of my shift right there. Like that movie In Time with Justin Timberlake, that's real. That's basically how we live it. Most people will only wake up with a day, you know, worth of income. You know, if they don't go to work that day, they're hurting. That's why people are going to work sick, sleepy.
Can't afford to call in.
You can't afford to call out.
It's funny. I saw this guy where I live at. He was coming out. What's up, man? He's like, man, I'm going to work. But you could tell he didn't feel good. But he can't miss them hours. And he was going to his second job, not his main job.
You know why he's sick? He's not working his body. That's why a lot of people don't realize that. They go on the grind. I'm about to work overtime, and then they get sick. Like, oh man, I'm missing all this work and I'm sick. You got sick because you was overworking.
Right.
People don't realize that.
Shit, I'm pretty sure we gotta work tonight. I don't want to go to fucking work tonight.
See it in your eyes, brother.
Yeah. But I can't afford to call out.
Oh yeah, I saw a video where article people are taking vacation just to catch up on sleep.
Oh yeah.
So people are taking their PTO time and just staying home.
Yep.
Where you going? Oh, yeah, I'm going here, and they really just staying home.
My supervisor took a vacation. He didn't want to take it. His wife was like, we took a vacation. They just went down to the beach, Wilmington. $2 G's.
$2,000.
2 G's.
Wilmington.
I said
that Edomite Beach. I hate going there. Edomite, you see Edomites with their shirt off all damn day.
I like it better than Myrtle.
I rather do around Jake.
I mean, I get it.
I don't like it around East.
I get it.
But yeah, I mean, it's a bag. Read that on Revelation 6 again.
It's Revelation 6 and verse 6. And I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny.
Yep, and if you look at the inflation report, Donald Trump promised that he was going to bring down inflation. Mm-hmm. It's been on the slow uptick. It hasn't been coming down because they'll say we beat inflation, but expectations might have been for inflation to rise. We have expectations inflation's going to rise. So okay, we came in as expected. As it rises,
right?
But yet they want to cut interest rates. So these big tech jobs, they can, keep earnings coming in. And man, it's going to destroy this economy. This economy is through. The average consumer doesn't matter anymore economically. That's what they literally came out with a report. There's 700 billionaires in the United States. 700 billionaires. And most of them are small, tiny hats. You look at the some of the most. These niggas got the average tiny hat is sitting with tiny top is sitting with like 4 to 7 billion. You know what I mean? Just easy. 4 to 7 billion. It was like 100 of them niggas. There's 700 of them. Here in they not all tiny tops, but there's 700 billionaires. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, they could.
If America could be healed, they could fix America alone.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. 50 states, 700 billion. Let's divide them up and,
It's 1 billion a state.
That's more than 1 billion.
Yeah.
That's like...
No, I'm saying this, if they was to give this 1 billion a state, 1 billion a state can make a change.
That's 14 billionaires per state, if my math is right,
That's why with that new guy, the new governor of New York, the mayor, the Cuomo.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people are trying to help out in New York because he's trying to tax the rich, right?
50 posted something about that.
Yeah, so and like 2% or something like that on water what they're being taxed. This is gonna take the businesses out. They're gonna move them business somewhere else, and then who's gonna get that squeeze? The middle class people. So these people don't.
You can't tax the rich in New York. It's a tax to live in New York.
Right.
Why do you think rent is so high?
Right.
It's already a tax.
Right. But I'm talking about the businesses too.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. You can't tax the rich. They're already being taxed.
Yeah.
How much do you think it is to rent those businesses out? How much do you think that lease is?
Well, you can put that in the group chat about that little hallway for like
$1,300.
$1,300.
That little room. And people live in closets in New York. They live in jail cells. They're in jail. You go to work every day. You live in a closet. You share a bathroom with everybody in your building. You share a shower. How is that life? What are we talking about here? And things are only going to get worse as inflation increases. Your buying power is going to continue to diminish. But let's go. Did you have anything? Can we Ecclesiastes 12? Did you have something you want to bring up?
Yeah, we didn't finish.
Oh, bring it up. Sorry, I thought that was good.
No, it was like one line.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's Revelation 6. I'll just read again. In verse 6, and I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil in the wine.
Yeah, the oil in the wine represents this truth. You don't want to, because this oil and the wine that we have, it's preserving us. Right. It actually has worth. It actually has value to it. Right? This fiat currency where you just print money out of thin air, that doesn't have any true value. Paper doesn't have value. Right. Oil, wine, right? This knowledge, right? This precious resource that we have, isn't going to be diminished. It isn't going to lose its value. It's actually going to gain its value because assets go up as inflation rises. So the asset prices go up as inflation rises. So if you have a house, you see, and you kept up with that house, so you gotta keep up with this knowledge. You gotta keep up with it. You gotta constantly sharpen your sword. You gotta stay on point. You can't just let it. Oh, I got it. Let it wax so under an apple.
And if I can make a quick point, that's the spiritual example of it. The oil and wine. In physical terms, that's more so luxury items. Right. So here it is with the elites, like you said about asset prices, with the dollar going down and inflation going up. Their portfolios get bigger. The house that they bought for $100,000 now is worth $500,000. Because why? Because they weren't affected. They actually profited off of inflation. While the poor, because you read up about the black horse, pretty much these bad times and pretty much the scales. It means it's controlled. The balance is in his hand. He's all doing this on purpose, man. So that he benefits and the poor suffer. It says a measure of wheat. Wheat is nutritious. Barley is less nutritious. So that means now you have to, it says 3 measures of barley for a penny. So now you go to the store, you can't get the organic. Now you can get the regular, ordinary brand. Instead of the Fruit Loops, you get the Fruity Loops. That's what the decision that the poor have to do. Yep. While the elites, their lifestyles have not been diminished. Right. And the elites, man, they're still going on trips. They got still full of gas. Their plane PJs still full of gas. They're still
private jet.
Yeah, the PJs, private jets.
Yeah, sorry.
Yep. So their captains still getting their salary, on standby, at whatever airport to park their shit that costs how many thousands of dollars a month, just in case they want to go somewhere. They're not affected by this, because it's what the squeeze is about. Like I said, it's about separation of the haves and the have-nots. It's easy to control without there being a middleman. The middleman is the middle class, man. That the middle class is the enemy of Esau's agenda, man.
Yep, and he's socialized human society to hate the middle class. The average poor, the poor hate the middle class, and the middle class hate the poor. But my boy Andrew Tate, y'all are all poor. Because he was on top of the world at one time. Everybody knew this guy. But yet this nigga was getting out. He was trying to have a beachside view in Dubai. Niggas said, "Get up, you gotta go. You can't afford my rent."
In the apocrypha about the rich man, he had many helpers. These bailouts, you don't get bailed out, by big banks, by the central bank. When you catching hell, you'd be lucky to get a loan, man.
Yep.
To be able to afford your lifestyle, your groceries and stuff.
Yeah, you got this new company, OpenAI. Them niggas are in debt, and they're getting bailed out by all these other big tech companies. Yeah, we'll fund you. You got a dream, you got a vision of what you want to build in the world. Here you go. We'll just give you more money. Go do it. But they don't care about what you want to do for your family. They don't care about that.
I got this is Sirach 13 and 22, it says, when a rich man falleth, he have many helpers. He speaketh things not to be spoken, yet men justify him.
Yeah, this dude, Elon Musk, he got a $1 trillion payout for his company. 1 trillion. And his business is failing.
Yep.
You know, but they funded him that $1 trillion because they believed in his vision. This dude, he couldn't do it with all the money he got before. Now we need more money. You know, those investors, they come in. But who's investing in your neighborhood, your city? You know, really things don't have to be as expensive as they are. You know, it's designed this way. There's plenty of resources in the earth to go around. You know what I mean? Plenty of resources. Niggas is just finding gold in Utah. Gold just coming out of the earth. They got this Sarah's Oil movie, Jake woman. You know, she got some land. There's oil in her land. There's riches everywhere in the world. You know, but yet they say there's not enough.
Just back to your point, it was an Edomite couple. They went somewhere in the West and dug up some type of large rock, and it was like over $2-3 million. They got it appraised.
Well, you know, the shit that Esau does is you have to have mineral rights to claim that. You own the house, but you don't own the shit under the house. Yep. So Esau can come and say, hey, you don't own the shit under here. This is mine. Yep. That's what he does, man. Yep. That's that scant measure. It says in Micah the 6th chapter, that leanness, those practices that Esau does, you know, is for you to lose, man. He makes rules for you. You don't follow rules, man. He gets bailouts. He has bad spending habits, and he gets bailed out. You get bad spending habits, you get a bad credit score. You know? Now good luck getting a good APR on your car loan. You know? Esau spends billions and billions of dollars. They don't do nothing. It's all speculative. Nigga didn't do nothing. He said I'm gonna do this. Everybody throw money at him. You know? You try to do something, you know, a poor man is that one Jake that takes plastic and makes it gas. They gonna off him, man. I don't know if you've seen that guy.
Yeah, he turns it into diesel.
Yeah, but he don't get no. He gets funding, you know, but not as far as these big companies do, because it plays against their agenda, man. Look at all these goddamn cars. That goes back to Rockefeller, man.
Yeah.
Standard Oil.
Because right now they have what they call the eVTOL market. With that guy, with that Jake, you know, because they're saying that's the new stage in aviation. But what that Jake is doing, that could be the new stage in, you know, car manufacturing. We don't gotta go electric. You know what? Let's just go back to creating diesel, and let's get that ocean of plastic out. Let's get that. We have an abundance of plastic. Let's reuse that, because everything technically is reusable. Everything the Heavenly Father, you can reuse it. Like say, oh, it's non-biodegradable. It could be broken down again. It's elements. Everything is renewable. Yeah, everything is renewable energy. So what that Jake is literally doing, it could be revolutionary. You know, it could start a whole new age of how we deal with transportation.
Just like with the dudes that figured out how to run cars off of water. They got killed. You know?
He got killed in that mass. He got to lead in that mass thing that happened in New York.
It was actually 2 people, I think, that kind of figured it out.
Yeah, a couple people figure things out on their own. I saw this one dude who's driving a flying car in his yard.
You see that? You got a dude in the car, she got that arm up looking back like this. Damn.
There's a show called Blacklist, and they have hitmen where they'll kill people that have these inventions and steal their patents, man, so that it never comes out. You know, because that'll be bad business to their company plan, man. That's how he saw it.
Yeah, but if they were smart, they would snatch them people up, because people like that is useful. That could come up with ideas like that. You know, hey, we need to put this guy on the team. He could figure some shit out. You know, but they want to off him instead and take their idea.
Yeah, because it really doesn't go with their technocracy. You know, it really doesn't go with them, because that guy might have a moral compass that doesn't align with them. You know, because they want they are doing that with these smart Ishmael and these smart heathens that come, Elam, that can do the coding.
Exactly.
You know, that wearing chocolates everywhere.
Make bombs.
Nothing goes to waste with this guy.
Operation Paperclip. He didn't do away with them Nazi scientists. Right. He grabbed them up and made them on their team because it's about his agenda. You know.
That's right.
Finishing out, Sirach 13:22 says, and yet men justify him, the poor man slippeth, and yet they rebuke him. 2, he spake wisely.
Yeah, the poor man slipped. Like they ridicule him. They look down upon him. You had a Jake woman, you know, she's doing bad right now and she's fat. You know, it is what it is, right? She looks like a linebacker. You know, probably a defensive linebacker. And people are complaining. She's crying that she hasn't eaten in a while. And people are like, she could miss a few meals. It's just like, all right, let it be you though. Let you have to miss a few meals. And people don't realize, well, wait a minute, why is Elon getting $1 trillion when the government shut down? You know, what is a self-driving car gonna do for me right now? You know, why don't those investors put that $1 trillion, you know, into something that's gonna help the people?
Right.
You know?
It says it could have no place, verse 23. When a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue, and look what he saith, they extol it to the clouds. But if a poor man speak,
this nigga Elon, you know, he tries to, you know, say he works all these hours and stuff. You know, someone was like, asked Elon, like, well, what made you keep going? He said, I have this mindset that, you know, I just never want to quit.
right?
You know what I mean? People have said that,
Right.
but you should have seen the dude's face, the interviewer, his face. He was like, yeah, like, you know what I mean? That's amazing right there. That's something so profound.
Right.
It plays into that agenda, the technocracy. You listen to your experts. You know, you don't have to think. We'll think for you. This is what we do.
Right.
You know, don't worry. You use your brain cells to think outside the box. We got you covered.
Right.
You got your Elon Musk. You got your Bill Gates, and so on and so forth. With these characters that come up and show themselves to be important, man. And that goes back to, especially with Jake, because that's what they cry for, a king.
Yep.
You know, it's the same mentality. We want a king. We want to be like the heathen. We want somebody to rule over us. You know, and that's how they are with these figureheads, man. You know.
Yeah, if I may say, you had remember you know, the gates of hell.
Yep.
He said we should cut down the trees.
Oh yeah.
You know, he said we should cut down the trees, and then when people, the guy who was interviewing, he said, "Is that smart? Is that wise?" And he got offended at that. He said, "Are we the science people, or are we the idiots?" You know, saying that the people that don't agree with us, you're the idiots. We're the science people. We know what we're talking about, and you guys are the idiots. You know, it's absolute madness.
Right. It says, but if the poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? And if he stumble, they will help to overthrow him.
That's what happens. Yeah. They step on the little guy. Because why? Because again, what happens is they put these guys on God level status, you know, and they start worshiping them, man, whether you know it or not, man. You know, all the stuff, these logos, the stuff that you see with your eyes, man, it all goes to idols, man.
Yeah. You're talking about, you know, okay, all these, the government assistance and all this that the people get, the working class get. What do you, that gets funneled right back to the elites. They're using that money for food to keep the Walmart open, so Walmart can keep their margins high. If they didn't get those government assistance, then the Walmarts would have to shut down. They couldn't open up as many, and they couldn't be as profitable. So it's all just funneled back. It's not like it's actually helping the little guy. It's just keeping the system going before people just out here bugging out because there's not enough to go around.
Right.
Yeah, when there's plenty. Yep. They can say, here's your allowance for the month.
That's what's coming to.
Make sure you spend this at my store.
Yeah, that's that program.
Yeah.
And I got a comment about the poor man. A poor man can be invisible in plain sight because nobody really pays attention to the poor man. You know, when you think a poor man sees things that a lot of people don't, you know, because poor people around, yep, and they watching, you know, and not to mention, you know, sometimes they don't do nothing but
watch. You gotta think. If a poor man is standing in one location constantly and daily, he could map out everything, you know, and know where things at, know which way to go, know which way not to go, you know. But sometimes, you know, people disregard, you know, it's like the script say, you know, when the poor man speaks, you know, they disregard.
There's one that says, I think it's like verse 24 in that chapter. Actually, you guys know where that script say? The poor man, through his wisdom, delivered the city. Yeah. But it started 19.
Yeah, that poor man, he'll know the ins and outs of that city. He'll know ways that the rich people don't. The poor man will know the underground.
Yeah, you get that.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7 and verse 19. Wisdom strengtheneth the wise more than 10 mighty men which are in the city.
Yeah, wisdom is really where strength lies. You know, because everybody's out here chasing a dollar, and you're seeing that it's failing them. And the race is rigged, so what do you need to get? You need to get wisdom. And that's how you're going to be strengthened in these times. Wisdom strengthens the wise more than 10 mighty men that are in the city. Right? These mighty men, you can look at a rich man as a mighty man in this society. Because he can, you know, he can forward his, he can oppress his will upon you. Right? That's why, you know, there's a thing known as willpower. These niggas with money, they can exhort, their willpower is long. You know, the power to exhort their will, and that's why we understand everyone is subject to the will of the Heavenly Father, because who has more resources than the omnipotent, the omnipotent? Right? Yahweh, right? He is. Right? And Yahweh Shai being his express image. Right? So you have men with power that can beat you down. Right? That's why we're out here giving our people the most valuable thing, the thing that people can't take away, nor can they give it. Wisdom that coming from on high. Give it now. Jump to the 9th chapter, and
This is Ecclesiastes 9 and 15. Now there was found in it a poor wise man.
You can really start at 12. Okay. And we'll just read on down.
This is Ecclesiastes 9 and 12. For man also knoweth not his time, as the fishes that are taken in an evil net, and as the birds that are caught in the snare, so are the sons of men snared in an evil time.
That's right, but a prudent man perceiveth the evil and hideth himself. The sons of men, right, they're snared in the evil time, when what?
When it shall falleth suddenly upon them.
When it falleth suddenly upon them, because they're stuck in the rat race. They're in the hamster wheel, not knowing that this is an experiment, you know, put on by the government, right? The powers that be, I should say, the nobility of Edom, right? To wear you out, to keep you powered. That hamster wheel you're on is powering a light bulb in that house. You know, they need you to keep going, and eventually they're gonna replace you, that hamster, with a robot hamster, and that nigga's gonna power. And we're gonna give him the water. So you got the little water in the little hamster house. They're gonna give the robot the water, because these data centers, they take up a lot of resources on the earth. And Esau is such an idiot, and really his land is drying up so much that they're forced. I don't know if they're forced or if they're doing it on purpose, because, you know, I don't know this man's mind, but they're putting these data centers where there's already a low income of water. So what is that going to do to the earth? It's going to dry it up even more. So either this man is an idiot or he's running low on land. You got it, bro.
Verse 13, this wisdom have I seen also under the sun, and it seemed great unto me.
And just to go back on those data centers, the big ones can consume up to 1 million gallons a day, bro. That's a lot of water. And they put it, the land is drying up, so they put it where, you know, there's a stream of water going, and they'll intercept that water. So now it's like a dam, almost, like where you block the water, and it's like it's no longer getting to where the people live. right? So, and that's crazy. You know, I think this dude Jensen Wong just came out. They want to build 7 more supercomputers. And a supercomputer is the size of a building, bro. It's not a small computer. Computing power, it takes resources to power that thing. Right, bro? And these are the evil times that are coming. This is what's going to cause even more scarcity of food. You know, I saw an article talking about how farmers need to stop lying about the price of beef. When you talk to a local farmer, the price of beef is going up. There's a scarcity of beef. You know, so it's not like they're price gouging. It's that there's actually not there's not as much anymore. Jamie Vance came out and said that. The vice president. You got it, bro.
Verse 14, there was a little city and few men within it.
Mm-hmm.
And there came a great king against it and besieged it and built great bulwarks against it.
Here you got your little community going on, right? And a great king said, "Nah, we want those resources," and that's basically what's going on in these cities today. You know, little communities to where you got the middle class. You know, they're paying the taxes, they're keeping the city going, they're funneling the money back into the city, right? But now this great king has said, "Nah, I want those resources." You know, and because these people don't have any wisdom, you know, they don't really have any power. They can't overcome this man, because you gotta get wisdom from on high, because that's this man is dealing with his stargazers, his monthly gnosticators, his enchantments that he's pushing out on the people is wearing these people down.
I was just looking up something the war in Nigeria, stuff's going on. Hey, we saw my earlier, you know, Esau, it's really about the resource, what's really in there.
Yeah, in Nigeria,
they got a lot of oil. That's what Esau's, that's what he's fighting with South America with,
in
too.
Brazil, right? Venezuela.
Yeah, America's out of oil.
Oh yeah.
You know,
that's because they gave a lot of their oil to China, because they gotta keep diplomacy behind this. There's diplomacy going on behind the scene, and America's giving away their resources. When you watch that movie, All Wars Are Bankers' Wars. Yep. These niggas have been giving their land away.
I was thinking about that
since like the 50s.
Yep.
It's like, wait a minute, you've been broke since the 50s?
Yep.
And it's about to be a world war. So, you know, they gotta snatch up the resources they need in order to go to war. And oil is important.
Yep.
I'm gonna bring out like 2 more. Yeah, bro, keep bringing.
Verse 15, now there was found in it a poor wise man, and he by his wisdom delivered the city, yet no man remembered that same poor man.
That's right, and really, you know, you look at it in a spiritual sense, Yahweh Shai, you know, is going to deliver us. You know, it seems like the world has forgotten him, right? But we're being put back in remembrance, right? So a poor man's wisdom, and because he's poor, he's insignificant. You know, there's a lot of parables. You know, you have this. You know, you have the project. You got plenty of old heads in the project that know, like, nah, this isn't the way, and they give that wisdom. You know, don't do that. You know, but they're poor. Their wisdom is despised because they're poor. Right? Now, this is how things. I was literally driving today, like driving on the highway. It's just like, man, I can set up these highways better than these niggas done did it. You know, to where there's not traffic, where things flow.
Of course.
You know?
But it's all about money with this devil.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have everybody go at the same time, accidents, insurance, all that's coming all back to me. You know?
That's been proven with these lights. You know, sitting at lights for a long ass time, your car being idle is a waste of gas.
Yep.
So why you go and get your gas plug in?
Yes, because I saw an architect. He created a highway that you never stop on.
See?
You never have to stop at the lights. See? And traffic just flows. You know what I mean? It's not that hard. You know, but it's all set up. That's why they show you in like futuristic movies where it'd be like they show you in that movie Robots, You know, it's a animated movie. But they were on the speedway and everything was the pixel.
Yeah.
Everybody was just going. No one ever stopped.
Right.
He's like, this is what we created. And it was like, yeah, you could literally create a system like that, but he doesn't. He does things quick, cheap. You know what I mean? These cars, the newer car is cheaper than the older one. The last thing, what happened to the metal cars? You know, the American diesel. You know, you got them whack ass Chevys.
I saw something on that too. On why everybody drives Ford. It was a deal. Ford is a piece of shit. It was a deal on why they made it the American truck.
Yeah, it's sourced in America.
Yeah. But it was more to it.
And Henry Ford, you know, his cars suck. The assembly line, all that stuff, yeah, bro. It's always more to it's based off capitalism. Yeah. Repo's got it. Yeah, that's a little bit more, right?
Yeah. Verse 16, then said I, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard.
His words are not heard. His words are not knowledge. You know, people weren't asking the everyday consumer, like, hey, let's take a survey. You know, people aren't going to survey, how can we fix the economy? How can we do this? How can we do that? You know, people, all right, let's filter out all the BS. All right, these are some good ideas. Let's do that. People aren't doing that because you're poor. What do you know? You know?
Let's put some props.
It's Luke chapter 9, Luke 9 and 62. It says, and Yahushua said unto him, no man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of the Most High. Okay. So I'll read it again. Luke 9 and 62, and Yahushua said unto him, no man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of the Most High. And you go into the example about remembering Lot's wife. You know, the Lord said, you know, in Matthew 24th chapter, remember Lot's wife because what? She was stuck, what was behind her. You know, it is the Lord's command us to come out of her, my people. Maybe, you know, partakers of her plagues. He says in Micah, this world's going to lead you with a sword of destruction. That you separate yourself, you know. So the same in these times, especially in these times, man. So more going in specifics about putting a hand to the plow being the work, you know. Whether you know it or not, you know, when you came to this thing, where the Lord allowed you to, you made a vow. Someone get that. Deuteronomy 23 and 21.
Ecclesiastes 5 and like 7 or 8.
Yep. But when you came to this truth, you vowed that you're going to endure unto the end, man. You know? And it don't matter what time frame the Lord had for you to be in the truth, man. Look at our apostles' nails on down, man. They know they vowed a vow to the end and not say at least they keep pushing, man. You got it? Yeah.
This is the book of Deuteronomy 23 and 21. When thou shalt vow a vow unto the Lord thy power, thou shalt not slack to pay it.
Yep, should not be slack to pay it. You know, again, when you came to this knowledge, the Lord gave you a talent. Okay? Whatever that talent may be, you're supposed to increase. You might not be a prophet. Okay? But it don't matter. You have the knowledge of Yahweh Shai. If you're not bearing fruit, remember the example of what Yahweh did with that fig tree, he cursed it. And what happened? It withered, man. And the spirit left it. You know? So that's the same with you, man. You have this knowledge, you're not doing nothing with it. You know you're an Israelite, but you're still, you know, smoking weed, being a nigga, you know, robbing, stealing, being simple. You know, the Lord's gonna get you, man. So again, when you put your hand to the righteousness, you're supposed to continue on to the end, man. You're supposed to pray Lord's will. But remember, this blood in, blood out, man. When you hear it, as soon as that word touches your ear, man, Yahweh said, if I had not come, they had not sinned. All right? Because if you keep reading, it's sin unto you, at least you pay that vow, man. Go ahead.
For the Lord thy power will surely require it of thee.
Yep, say, I didn't know. That's what Jake love to do. When he get caught on some shit, he say, I don't know. He throw the hands up, I ain't know. You know? But again, you with this knowledge, you're supposed to know better, man. The Lord said about the servant that knew the master's will and did it not. You're going to receive what? More stripes. So it's a scary thing. You read about that in Hebrews 4. Hebrews 4:1. Let us therefore fear. These are promises being left onto us. Any of us who come short of it. It's about finishing. With anything you finish, man. It's not about how you start. We'll probably grab that. Better at the end of the thing. In the beginning thereof, it's better to finish than to start, man. We're going to count the cost, to finish that.
And it would be sin indeed.
Yep, so it's going to be sin in you. What is the wage of sin? Death, man. So if you don't pay that value to the Lord, Yahweh Shai, okay, you're going to die, man. We read earlier about not everyone that says unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom. We're not here to do bare minimums, man. Just floating to get by, man. Just hanging around, all right? That don't get you nowhere, man. That don't equal greatness, Again, we measure, again, and we admire the walk of Yahweh Shai. And what was Yahweh Shai doing, man? He was locked into the work, man. Different times. We are in 2025, so it's different. You can't walk to your neighbor's house and lounge there. Dude might not even have a bed, man. They don't barely have shit to lay on, man. But in the ancient world, the Lord told us take nothing and go out and preach. We can't do that, man. We gotta go to work, But still no excuses, man. You got that Ecclesiastes?
Yep, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verse 4. When thou vowest a vow unto Yahweh, defer not to pay it.
Yep, defer not to pay it. Meaning when the Lord come and check you, say, hey, where's my increase? What you been doing with my talent? You got no answer. The Lord gonna call you a wicked servant, man. Again, being slack, being lazy. The Lord gave you a job, man, to go out in the field and work. What Jake do? He hang around in the shade, man. Drinking the juice, man. What? Drinking lemonade in the shade?
For he hath no pleasure in fools. Pay that which thou hast vowed.
Yep, so you vow, man, to endure unto the end. Okay, no matter what. Again, we pray the Lord be with us. But again, when you come to this thing, you have to know what you're involved in, man. And it's a learning process. Even me. I'm not talking like I figured this shit out. I got this shit locked now. Buy my starter thing. No, man. Shit, the secret is endurance, man. Because with anything, especially at a high level, it's not so much about how fast you are. That's another one. It's not too swift. You grab that. It's not too swift. It's about endurance, man. Things that are not so glamorous, popular, like grit. Grit. You know what I'm saying? You can't buy grit. Everybody want to be, shine, knight in shining armor, but nobody wants to get in the mud. Nobody wants to do the hard stuff. Everybody want to be cute. You want to look cute. That's what the Lord got on the scribes and Pharisees about, man. You make the outward garment all shiny, but then when you're dead man's bones, man, you ain't right, man.
Better is it that thou shouldest not vow than that thou shouldest vow and not pay.
Better you have not vowed, man. Better you just have not known, it's good to say. Better if you have not known the word of Yahweh than to hear it and not do it, man. Or to fall back.
Once you hear this word, you marked. That's the point. Let the brother get into you marked. Rather you mark for life and salvation, or rather you mark for death. Hearing this word, you gotta pick a side now. Well, actually, your side is chosen for you. Once you get into predestination. But yeah, you gotta get on the side of the fence. You gotta pick a side of the fence. Suffer not thy mouth to cause thy flesh to sin. Neither say thou before the angel that it was an error. Wherefore should Yahweh be angry at thy voice and destroy the work of thine hands?
Yes, them excuses. Take all the excuses in the world, and then he'll say on God after, or on baby, or whatever the fuck Jake say, on King David. Jake say all this stupid shit. On my mama, And the angels hear it, they go like, man, the contract here. You know what I'm saying? You put your hand to that plot. You agreed, you said con, and you ain't come up, you came up short, man. Which the Lord is merciful. Get that, and then get Luke 13. It's a parable about a fig tree.
This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 8. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof.
Yep, and you read in the NLT, it says better is to finish than to start. It's better to finish than to start. If, this is hard for you, turning onto Yahweh Shai, enduring the afflictions, trying to be righteous in the wicked world, going through certain stuff that the Lord doesn't try you. If that's hard now, then you probably should just quit while you're ahead, man. Because it's only gonna get harder. The Lord said about being a good soldier. We're not up here saying that, we just some high mighty guys. We don't, what I'm saying, we don't cry, shit all out here too, man. But the point is that you have to finish, man. So it's no excuse. Go ahead.
And the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit.
Better is to be patient than to be proud. Better is to wait and suffer than to take a bag, a cop out, a plea deal, right? Because why? Because at the end of that deal is destruction, man. Look what happens to Jacob and our people that sell short and sell out. They get in a worse case condition than they were before, man. They got nails painted. He was the hardest nigga on the block. Now he got nails painted and his hair is purple. Because that's what happens with the industry. It turns you out, man. Just for what? For a temporary situation, man, which is borrowed. A lot of times with these what they call them, 360 deals, he get a lump sum of bread that he got to pay back. It's really just a loan, man. And if you don't pay it, that's why these niggas get deleted. So-and-so dead. It's a little fine print. If you don't pay, you die. I'm saying? Some lawyer language jargon that you don't know what the fuck that shit means. Oh shit, yeah, like the Drewski shit. Could have been records. He be joking, but it's true, man. He said, "Just sign your soul here. Everything is mine." I'm saying, don't worry about it. Like, what? Niggas, I lose my leg or something.
They be putting this shit in plain sight,
Exactly, that's what happens, man. But better is the patient of spirit. Here's the faith and the patience of the saints, man. Because why? Because again, to fear Yahweh Shai, that is wisdom. So us fearing the Lord and taking the L now, amen, we're gonna get eternal victory, man. Which you can't put a price on. Get that loop. You got that loop. Is there more in there?
Yep. This number body. Well, let me see. Which not?
B not.
This is Luke chapter 13, verse 6. He spake also this parable. A certain man had a fig tree planted in his vineyard.
Yep, so think of this as you. All right, go ahead.
And he came and sought fruit therein, and found none.
So he came to see fruit, and he didn't find none. Okay, go ahead.
Then said he unto the dresser of his vineyard, Behold, these 3 years I come seeking fruit on this fig tree, and find none.
Yep, so think about that. You've been in this truth amount of years, and you not bearing no fruit. You've been in this thing a year, 2 years, 3 years, and you haven't learned from your mistakes. You're not increasing in faith. You're not growing in grace. Again, still doing the same folly, simplicity, bullshit that you were doing in the world. That old man, What do you think the Lord is going to do, man, when he sees that, man? Go ahead.
Cut it down.
He said, cut it down, man. Right? The Lord's going to start hewing you down, man. It means the Spirit's going to start leaving you, man. And that's a terrible thing. Did not King David say, take not thy Holy Spirit from me? All stuff that King David had to deal with because, what he did, because of his sin, he said, do anything you want to me, but don't take the Spirit from me, man. Because the Spirit can bear your infirmities. But born the Spirit, who can, man? When you cut to the core, man, and you're in despair, and the Spirit's gone, man, you're just an empty vessel. You see the eyes, the bags on the eyes, eye colors all black. You know what I'm saying? No hope, man. But if we have the Spirit, then we have hope, man. That's what we endure, man. Go ahead.
Why cumbereth it the ground?
Right. That pretty much means it's just taking up space. Get it out of here. It's just taking up space. And that's a lot of you guys out here just taking up space, man. You guys calling yourself Israelites out here, these other camps especially, man. And hey, maybe even in Great Millstone, man. You're not learning. So guess what? The Lord said, this guy's taking up space. Let me get him out of here. Go ahead.
And he answering said unto him, Lord, let it alone this year also, till I shall dig about it and dung it.
Yep, so who's that? That's ultimately Yahweh Shai intervening. Okay? The Lord, Yahweh Shai is saying, hey, man, give him some time, man. Being a mediator. You might not deserve it. Hey, but the Lord is merciful, man. Slow to wrath. Okay? Tender mercy. So he said, give him one more year, man. Give him one more chance. And a lot of you guys on your last chance, man. Through the Spirit. And you don't know it, man. And that's a scary place to be in, man. That's no man's land. You know what I'm saying? You don't even know it, man. And get a report, so and so he's not in the camp anymore. Like, damn, you know, or whatever. Now he a whole Muslim, you know, or now he got a new job. Nigga got a lineup, you know, with a Chuck E. Cheese smile and Lipton. It's like, damn, wasn't he just on the corner? You know, but that's what happens, man. The Lord, he literally takes you out, man. You know, but again, going to the Lord's mercy, he said, hey, man, give him another chance, man. But imagine if you frustrate that, man. You know, if you fuck up that time, right? The Lord give you some more time, you still, hey, man, you're gonna get a worse punishment, man. That's what happens to a lot of our people, man. You know, constantly being warned over and over, stop doing that. The Lord set up watchmen and counselors, you know, and men of wisdom to say, hey, don't go that way, don't do this, right? Would I advise you to do that? No, right? The world is saying, what would Jesus do? How would I do, man? A lot of you just jump ahead first with the stuff, and then you ask him for help. You know, but the Lord gonna say no to help, man. I was dead. Ain't nobody paying attention to me.
That brother's talking.
Go ahead.
It's been going the whole time.
Nah, it was just up. I just checked it not too long
I think it
ago.
just went on.
All right.
And if it bear fruit, well. And if not, then after that, thou shalt cut it down.
Yeah, so if the fig next year doesn't bear fruit, good. I mean, if the fig bears fruit, good. But